Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing well. And if you're a new viewer, welcome to Pie in the Sky Tours. My channel aims to bring you quality setups, tutorials, tips, guides and tours from Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. So do check out my other videos too. And please do like and subscribe if you enjoy the content, as it helps others find my channel. In today's video, I'll be showing you how to get the most out of the online multiplayer mode in Microsoft Flight Simulator, and flying with friends in no time at all. The intention of this video is to present my guide and to share my own tips and tricks, which I use when meeting up with friends in the virtual skies. Sometimes things can go wrong, but I've managed to use workarounds which often solve some issues. Whether you're new to online multiplayer or have already used it, there are quite a lot of options, and hopefully by watching this video, you'll be able to set your own sim up for the best online flying experience possible. If you're interested in joining my group flights, you can check out my Discord for upcoming events, as well as the main channel page and playlists for the streams. This guide is really focused on setting up different kinds of multiplayer games, whether in groups or just with single people. It's not a complete guide of all the other settings, it's just focusing on that multiplayer aspect. So if you do have any questions about multiplayer, please feel free to leave it in the comments section and we'll try and help you out. Here you can see the world map, which is pretty much the central area of the UI in the sim when it comes to setting up flights. This is also very useful when setting up multiplayer sessions. To see who's online, you can see the green plane icons on the main map. These indicate who is online and their location. If you hover over the icon, a gamertag will appear above the plane. You can easily spawn into players' locations by simply clicking on that person's Msfs gamertag and you'll appear with them in the sim. I will go through how to set the live traffic status, as well as the flight conditions menu in more detail in a few minutes. There are 5 different servers in the sim in different regions of the world. If you want to fly with others online, you must be in the same server, and you'll need to set your status to online. You do have the option of setting it to busy or away. The choices are West USA, East USA, Southeast Asia, West Europe and North Europe. Pings are constantly updating, so just try the server which is closest to your location and go from there to start with. The objective here is to get the lowest ping possible. Please note that if you have it set to automatic, it will constantly look for the best ping. However, this is not helpful in this instance, because you want to be in the same server as other people and you want to stay in that server. Automatic will move you in and out. So whenever you want to fly with people, you always decide on the server first, and you simply go to that server. I noticed that it isn't only rated to where you're located, as servers do change speeds regularly, so don't be afraid to try other servers different to where you're located. Next we'll take a look at the flight conditions menu. Here you can select between multiplayer, air traffic and weather and time. If we look at the first option, live players, this means that only those with live players enabled are visible and restricts the world to live weather and live time. All players are visible and weather and time is variable. I usually use this setting. And the last option is off, group only, and with this option, only people in that group can see each other. We have the choice of air traffic, either being real time or AI, and you can also switch this off. And lastly, we have the weather and time, so you can select live weather and live time, or you can go ahead and choose some different presets. So the choice is really yours between the presets and the live weather. If you want to find a friend, you can add a friend's gamertag by entering it in the search bar. This will send a notification to that person, and they can then accept the invite. You'll then see them in the menu under your friends list. Oh look, SimHanger's online. I do want to give a big thanks to Mark for helping me out with multiplayer ideas and group flights in general. I'm looking forward to hosting him as a guest on one of my streams soon. You can see there are different icons at the top. On the left you've got an icon which shows you who's online in your local area, so you can actually meet people that are actually physically near you in the real world. The next icon is a group flight. Here you can send out invitations to your friends to join your group. Whoever leads that group is in charge of all the weather settings and time settings. So a good way to join a group flight is to decide on the actual airport and runway and just proceed there as planned, and you'll spawn in and everyone else should be there too. If you miss the start of a flight or lose the group, a good tip when trying to locate a group flight who are actually in the air is to look for a group of green icons in the map. And do make sure you're on the correct server. And once you locate the group, you just click on one of the members and it will spawn you into that area. Do remember that you must be visible on the map. Another approach is to use a flight plan. It's the best way to do it because if you've got a flight plan, you can't really get lost. To load the flight plan, you simply click on More, Load Save, and you can see here you can load the plan. So you click on the .pln file and it loads up. And just double check you're in the right server and you should see people on the runway waiting to go. And that pretty much covers how to set up multiplayer in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. However, as you probably know, it's not as smooth sailing as you might think, and I've got some really good tips and tricks that I use all the time when I'm flying online, and I'll go through these now. If you lose connection with the sim or crash during a group flight, or want to join a group flight which has already started, You can simply click on a user's name and spawn into them. You'll always be spawned at a higher altitude, but this helps to locate that person, allowing you to meet up with them in the sim faster. I always use this option if something goes wrong in flight to quickly navigate the other player or players. Sometimes you'll notice that your friend disappears and you simply can't see each other, or maybe one of you can see and one of you can't. What I do is simply change servers and then we go from there. We reset the flight and it usually works. So if that does happen, just change the server and then go back to the main menu and restart the flight. And more often than not, this does the trick. Name tags can be really useful, but I do find that they break immersion. Whenever I'm flying in a group or with a friend, and I've got the name tags off and everything's fine, if I spend some time in my VFR map, for example, I sometimes lose them, especially with the name tags being off. You can really lose people quickly. So what I do, I go into the traffic menu and enable name tags. However, this takes a few seconds, so you have to pause it. You usually get further away than you were before. So what I do is use this great mod by Mugs, which is available on flightsim.to, which I'll leave a link for. This mod allows you to program a shortcut to a hotkey, so toggling it on and off is very useful. So basically, as I'm flying and I lose track of someone, I simply click on my hotkey and I can see their label instantly. This mod offers some other options too in terms of labels and POI markers. The great news about this sim is that it's crossplay, meaning that PC and Xbox users can fly together. When you're taking part in a group flight, voice chat is really important. I use Discord to chat to friends while flying, and I also use Discord voice channels for all group flights. It's worth noting that selected liveries will only appear on other aircraft when both have the same livery. And make sure to choose the non-generic models of planes if you want to see what aircraft other people are flying. There are faults on the servers, and sometimes your friend's plane won't appear as it should be, but that's just a glitch that we've got to live with until they actually iron everything out like that. Third-party planes will only appear as accurate models if the other person also has the same airplane model installed. The same applies for third-party add-ons. And another tip is to choose a server that's furthest away from where you're flying in the sim, and you should see less traffic. It sometimes helps to do this, but again it's a bit hit and miss. So these tips and tricks are intended to help you. They're not foolproof, but they're things that I've kind of managed to do over time, and it really does help make multiplayer a better experience. There will be a group flight on my channel this weekend on Saturday, February 26th. You can see the details of the upcoming stream on my main channel page. So please join us as we take a nice cruise over Chile and discover some of Patagonia together. You can add me as a friend and I'll accept it, which may make the group flights easier to manage if you're interested in joining. My gamertag is PIESKYTOURS, and do check out my video focusing on my latest and best VR settings for the HP Reverb G2 using the new OpenXR toolkit, and see if it helps you push your VR experience to the next level. As always, I hope you find this content useful. I look forward to making the next video soon, and look forward to seeing as many of you as possible in my group flight this weekend. And in the meantime, as always, take care and stay safe.